It all started in a land so scorched that it was impossible to survive. The first challenge Kuwaitis faced was the land itself. So how did they make a living on this dry earth? How did they survive? Kuwaitis were not always the children of the sea. It was a skill they acquired over their journey hundreds of kilometers across the regions. After wandering for 60 years looking for a land to call their own, they found Kuwait. And that, folks, was the beginning of the story. After years of struggle, Kuwaitis had learned how to survive, a quality that would come in handy in the future. Kuwaitis became skilled shipbuilders, fishermen, and ultimately pearlers. Their wit and basic understanding of business soon made them very successful. People began to call Kuwait the pillar of the Gulf. Until, in 1831, the Kuwaiti sailors came back to see that a deadly plague had taken over. The plague was so devastating that most of the population was wiped out, mainly women and children. The future of the community rested on the few who survived. Kuwait's resilience was tested again. Could it come back from such a tragedy? Since most survivors were men, they married from abroad and started families again. Eventually, they got over what was lost, and Kuwait chugged on to a restart. Kuwaitis bounced back from the plague. But was this newfound optimism going to last? Only time would tell. As the generation flourished under trade, Kuwait became known as the pearling capital of the Gulf. But little did they know that this industry was about to hit rock bottom. News came that a Japanese inventor had learned how to farm pearls, and pearling changed forever. Another challenge had come to Kuwait's doorsteps. And what did the Kuwaitis do? They turned it into an opportunity. You see, Kuwait had hundreds of pearling ships. So when pearling died, they turned these ships into trading ships. The brave people of Kuwait took these smaller ships across the seas and expanded trade. This was how Kuwaitis became renowned traders. With the wealth came the attention of the powerful neighbors and the danger of being invaded. So Kuwait signed with the British to protect them, a move that dodged another possible struggle. They were learning. Kuwait was now free to grow. Schools started to pop up. Art and education became integral, and a big change was on its way. One fine day, the land that had driven Kuwaitis to the sea for hundreds of years called them back in once more. Oil in Kuwait was found. This was the turning point in the country's history. With oil came the promise of its potential. But this too was not without challenges. While oil was being discovered, the world was embroiled in the Second World War, and Kuwait had to nervously wait on its fortune for the war to finish. And soon after the war, the first barrel of oil was finally exported. Kuwait became independent from the British in 1961. And with oil exports growing, it slowly started to transform into the Kuwait we see today. But the struggle wasn't over. After years of tension, Iraq invaded Kuwait in 1990. Kuwait suffered many civilian casualties and financial setbacks, and life in Kuwait came to a standstill. But this time around, Kuwait had the support of the world, and 7 months into the invasion, Kuwait was liberated. Amidst the doom created by the Iraqi fires, no one would have given Kuwait a chance to make it back. But as the smoke cleared, Kuwait emerged stronger, even after losing half of its oil in the fires. Kuwait's economy saw a boom like never before. With strong foreign investment, growth of business and trade, Kuwait once again became the pillar of the Gulf. From being the Gulf's most polished pearlers, Kuwait has become the Gulf's most polished pearl. And to be here, Kuwait has been roughened up and beaten down, but each time it has come out shining. So you ask what Kuwait will do when the oil dries up? Well, we'll find a way. We always have.